Welcome back to another episode of the 50/50 Show. I'm your host, Omair. This is my brother and co-host, Omar. Today, we're going to be talking about NBA and last night's games, as well as previewing what will be going on today. First, let's go over maybe the most interesting, the most, for me, exciting game of last night. The Los Angeles Lakers take on the Boston Celtics, where they absolutely beat the brakes off the Boston Celtics in a blowout win behind a dominant performance from Anthony Davis, as well as great performances from LeBron James, or GOAT James if you will, and AR-15 Austin Reeves. Omar, what do you think about the game last night? What are your thoughts? What did you see? Talk to us.
Well, honestly, I think it's not really a big deal.
What?
Yeah, so let's start with, I want to talk about LeBron real quick. He had 20-something points, 14 rebounds, 6 assists, and 2 turnovers. Shout out to him for keeping the turnovers low. I've talked about how that's one of his biggest glaring weaknesses in the regular season. When those turnovers are low, it just doesn't give the opposing team that much room to be able to attack them. So I love that from him. But his 14 rebounds, the big reason that happened is because before the game, his line was 6.5. I was all over, the overs for that. And it's because he sits in the dunker spot versus the Celtics. So the stretch 5 offense of Porzingis, it pulls the opposing. Yeah, well, he was popping off this game. So it pulls the opposing centers away from the paint. So it pulls someone like AD away. And then Rui was on Tatum and Max Christie was on Jaylen Brown. So that leaves AR and LeBron versus Drew and Derek for the rebounding responsibilities. And so it was just always going to be a matchup where LeBron was going to feast on the rebounds. That's something I wanted to sort of get out there because I think sometimes players have these pop-off performances, pop-off stats, and we always are just like, oh, wow, he was dominant, yada, yada. No, I mean, he literally missed the first bucket of the game, missed it twice, just kept offensive rebounding himself. And then again, he had this dunker spot stuff. So I think that rebound number is a little more, it's not quite what people are reading when they see, oh man, age 40, 20 and 14. But hey, still good game from him. Low turnovers, decent efficiency, loved it. From the Celtics side, that's where this game was lost. Anytime I see a good team score less than 100 points, they lost the game. There's really nothing you can do in the modern NBA. There's no defense you can play that's going to keep these highly skilled players unable to score 100 points. And so the Celtics only had 96 to the Lakers 117. I'm not saying the Lakers didn't deserve the win. It's just it should have been more like a Celtics 110-112. They still lose. The Lakers would deserve the credit. But in this game, they're super tired. They're in a cross-country trip. This is like a back-to-back, 3 games in 4 nights. Like, they're all super tired. Jaylen Brown, 9 of 19. I've talked about it a lot with this guy. Everyone always says this team is a super team and that Tatum gets carried. No. When Tatum actually doesn't perform very well, like this game, like he wasn't inefficient, he just didn't shoot a lot, 5 of 12, and you let someone like Jaylen Brown take over and you even let Kristaps Porzingis take over, it's not enough to beat these great teams. Kristaps Porzingis,
they usually do take over, like last year's finals. Jaylen Brown took over. He got the W.
Jaylen Brown's getting a lot of cachet and a lot of credit from people for those finals, and I can see an argument that in the playoffs, Jaylen Brown is better, but in the regular season, like Jamal Murray, I'm grading them based on what they output day in, day out. And Jaylen Brown, yeah, he had a 40-point game, I think maybe 2 weeks ago. People were really glazing him for that, but this is more so the norm for Jaylen Brown. He shoots a lot of shots. He's not very efficient. He's not playing a lot of defense in the regular season. I know you reference that Luka Doncic thing all the time. That's a playoffs Jaylen Brown thing.
Absurd.
That's
no
not
one
regular
could do
season.
it all playoff run, and then Jaylen Brown stops him.
And that's cool. And I'm not hating on him right now. But in the regular season, this is why the Celtics drop games to teams like the Lakers. It's people like Jaylen Brown. Obviously, it wasn't just him. Peyton Pritchard,
JT didn't perform very well, obviously.
Peyton Pritchard, 2 of 12. Terrible game. Drew Holiday.
Is he still better than De'Aaron Fox?
Yes. I'm pretty sure your boy just shot 33% and lost in the game versus the Nuggets, so I wouldn't be talking too high and mighty. But Peyton Pritchard, rare off game. Drew Holiday, 1 of 6. Derek White, 1 of 5. So really bad efficiency, and also just not the volume we've come to expect from those guys in terms of Derek White especially. So I just thought the Celtics were really off. If you can hate on them all you want. They didn't show up. They didn't take this game seriously. Like, this is a rivalry. You need to take this seriously because fans care about this kind of stuff. I'm cool with that. But let's not pretend like the Lakers were actually just a way better team and crushed them and yada, yada, yada. Like, Max Christie cannot make Jaylen Brown go 9 of 19. Jaylen Brown goes 9 of 19 no matter who's guarding him. And sometimes he goes 16 of 19. And he looks like he's the best player on the Celtics. if you believe in one game sample sizes. So this game for me, respect to LeBron for keeping the turnovers low. Obviously, I always like AD's game. I'm a pretty big fan of his. Just love the defense, offense, two-way player aspect. Gabe Vincent, want to shout out to him. Great minutes off the bench. He ended up getting into a lot of foul trouble, but I just loved every minute he was on the court. But this was the Celtics losing the game, and every person on the team deserves some blame, except I guess you could argue Kristaps Porzingis because he did have a good game. So I can exclude him. But yeah, Tatum, he wasn't inefficient, but he didn't take over. And Jaylen Brown, terrible. Peyton Pritchard, terrible. Derek White, I don't know, just wasn't shooting anything. So I hated this game from the Celtics side. And Lakers can enjoy the win, but I don't think they're the fifth best roster in the West. Just they're the fifth seed now. I don't think they're the fifth best.
Are you done?
Yeah, I think I
okay,
explained
okay,
how the Celtics lost the game.
Your response was satisfactory. Anyways, first of all, no respect being given to my Lakers. First of all, Anthony Davis, you said you like him, but you didn't mention the 3 blocks, 1 steal, absolute defensive monster. When you look at someone who can make the Celtics play worse, AD is one of those guys. When they drive to the rim, they are scared. You can say they're tired, to schedule loss, whatever. But the fact remains, when AD's in the paint, they're a lot more scared than some other big men. For example, if KP was on the Lakers, they wouldn't be nowhere near as scared as driving to the rim. Next, I want to talk about Max Christie. I know you have been very vocal in your critique of Max Christie, but this game, I think he properly shut you up. Just a great defense from him. Just really love the defense he was playing. He's a great complement to AR-15. We've talked about how the Lakers could not run a two defensive cone guard lineup. Max Christie was brought in to remedy that issue. He's playing the defense they need. And I also like the 3-ball. His only shots last night were from the 3-point arc. He's quite literally personifying 3-and-D, which I love to see. We know there's tons of sample size. LeBron really benefits from having guys who can shoot the 3-ball and play defense. So Max Christie brings both those things. Next, I know you've been big on DFS, talking about how he's a gem and Lakers need to be using him more. He had 0 points last night. Do you want to talk about your boy DFS putting up an absolute donut? He and I scored the same amount of points last night, so I'm just a little confused.
The Lakers are ruining him. They have no idea. The Lakers' fault. They have no idea what they're. Yeah, 100%.
And they ruined Taurean Prince too, and they ruined Russell Westbrook. Is that what you're saying?
If you could, no. Russell Westbrook was a dumb trade by Le GM. Taurean Prince was overrated.
He's killing it now in the Bucks.
He's not killing it on the Bucks. Well. He's not killing it, bro.
He's doing better than what we're doing in the Lakers.
Well, because some guys do struggle with the pressure on them. That's just the reality of it. I don't think Dorian Finney-Smith is struggling with the pressure of it.
I mean, I think it is. He's crumbling.
He just doesn't know. Is he starting? Is he off the bench? He's not even playing today. Like, there's no consistency in how he's being handled. Because if you're good on the dysfunctional franchise that is the Brooklyn Nets,
with no attention on him, he played freely.
Now I don't feel like he's choking under the pressure though. He's just like he's scared to just shoot the ball, which is a culture thing. You have to let him know, like, bro, shoot, go crazy. And also Max Christie, 3-and-D. It's because he went 2 of 12 so many games in a row, and people like me were calling that out. That I think the coaching staff was just like, hey, bro, just stop putting up shots. You're the worst shooter on this team. Yeah, okay, if you reduce his offensive output by half, then it's addition by subtraction because you took out some of the worst shots the Lakers take all game. I'll give you that, but I don't really think that's a credit to Max Christie. That's a credit to the coaching staff for realizing he's trash on offense.
You need to have a willingness to give up the shots.
I'm so willing to be a starter for the Lakers despite being terrible. Oh, no, praises me. What are we talking about here, bro? But DFS, y'all say hating on him. If y'all don't want to use him, trade him then. Trade him.
Well, I'm just saying 0 points. All you're telling me is to trade the guy who's scoring 0 points. Okay, thanks.
But he's scoring 0 points because, first of all, even on the Brooklyn Nets, he only gives you like 6 to 9 points. He's not a high scorer, but it's going to be super high efficiency. He was shooting 45% from 3, and he's going to give you great defense. That's the thing.
I didn't see any of that last night. On 20 minutes. He's played 20 minutes, which is not a small amount of time.
But it's not steady 20 minutes. You need to give him 20 minutes every night.
Okay, but I still don't think he should be starting over Rui Hachimura because I don't think you can't bench Max Christie because he's a guard. You can't bench a guard for a forward. So if you're looking at Rui Hachimura, I don't think you would bench him because.
Well, I think you can play DFS as a big too, but I'd bench Rui for him as well.
But
he's better than both those guys. So pick one.
Okay, I disagree. Cause I feel like Rui Hachimura, he's a lot more versatile. He can give you defense, scoring, rebounding, and playmaking.
Rui cannot defend.
Yes,
He tricking y'all. That's fake defense, bro. That's fake defense. Watch Rui Hachimura, bro. It's so easy to get layups on him. Remember when people were saying he was the Jokic stopper?
Oh,
and then he immediately got blasted every game.
Those fans were crazy. I don't represent those delusional fans. So. But if you watch him play, he gives you a solid amount of defense. That's why I'm saying he's versatile.
Nah, he can do mediocre defense.
He can do everything pretty well.
And he shoots a bunch of dumb middies. It's not hot. Not a great 3-ball either. Not a great passer. He gets you some rebounds. I can give you that.
Yeah, he is quite a good rebounder. But we can agree to disagree. Next, I want to talk about the Celtics because you slid in some Jaylen Brown slander. You're completely giving your boy JT. Okay, yeah.
I was very clear and upfront with it.
Okay, cool.
JB is the worst starter on the Celtics.
Your JT glaze was clear. That is true. So you completely give your boy JT a pass for not showing up at all against a historic rivalry game. It's a schedule. I don't care. He wasn't even trying to play his best basketball, even though this is a matchup beloved by fans. So that was sad to see. And I agree, Jaylen Brown did not have a good game. But I take offense with the fact that you think JB does not take over when JT's playing well. That's literally how the 1A, 1B narrative began, when JT would often have bad games because he's not the most consistent star in our league. Jaylen Brown would take over, and he would have those big games. And that's how we got that narrative of 1A, 1B, because Jaylen Brown picked up the slack when JT couldn't.
It's so easy for Jaylen Brown because anytime he has a good game, everyone want to start riding him and glazing him. But when he has a bad game, no one wants to call him out on it. Whereas it's the opposite for Jayson Tatum. Like, Jayson Tatum, do you realize he has the Game 7 record versus the Philadelphia 76ers when he absolutely smokes them?
I mean, it's the Sixers.
It's him and Curry. Curry set the record earlier that night or like the day before, and then Tatum broke it. Like, this is the caliber of player we're talking about. He is taller than LeBron. He's arguably faster than LeBron. Strong. He's getting you 9, 10 rebounds. Very good, proficient passer. Better than Paolo Banchero and a bunch of the guys that are now being coined as like the new LeBron. He's a better passer than those guys. Obviously a better passer than Jaylen Brown. Incredible defender. One of the, not quite Giannis level, but really one of those guys whose defense is slept on. Great shooter. Like, he can do everything. And he's criticized for going 5 of 12. Listen, he was inefficient. I agree with you.
5 of 12
Jaylen Brown was similarly bad and just took 7 more bad shots.
So why is JT shying away? Why isn't he trying to take over the game? If he's truly the first option,
every time he was taking a bunch of shots, everyone was talking about how you got to stop doing these dumb step back Kobe threes and let your teammates flourish. That's what he's doing. It's what LeBron does. Like
LeBron doesn't go 5 of 12 because he can get to the rim at will. He had that.
He goes against defenders like AD. LeBron gets to the rim at will in right matchups.
Prime LeBron doesn't matter who the matchup is. I'm not gonna compare 40-year-old LeBron.
Prime LeBron couldn't shoot like Tatum. Prime LeBron couldn't shoot like Tatum.
Yeah, but he could drive way better.
Okay, that's just a strength.
But if you look at the field goal, LeBron would never play this poorly. So if you,
wait, are you telling me LeBron, the guy who had the 2011 Dallas Mavericks?
Okay, 2011, that's one playoff series.
But you can't say this guy would never go 5 of 12.
But he would never play that bad.
He had a game versus the Pacers where he shot like 30% from the field. He just put up because he was the only option.
But then he was passing as well.
Okay, Tatum passes.
But he didn't pass as well. LeBron
is an overrated passer because no one talks about his turnovers.
That's crazy.
Tatum has them low turnovers.
That's absurd. I'm not trying to compare JT to prime LeBron. You can never. He's not in even the same breath as him. But my ultimate point is that you're giving JT a pass, but I don't see why. You probably have JT as a top 5 in the NBA.
Yeah.
You need to treat him as such. When he goes 5 of 12, that's trash.
No, I agree. I would have liked to see him shoot more.
Not putting a bigger impact on the game, whether it be passing, defense, scoring, any of these things. I mean, I didn't see any of that.
He was playing defense. He
was playing defense.
I liked his rebounding. I liked his passing.
But that's all good when he's giving you 28 on efficient number.
I agree.
But if he can't do that, what's he doing?
My issue is that he actually thinks Jaylen Brown is anywhere close to him in skill level. I agree. Don't let Jaylen Brown take 19 shots. Tell that one-handed boy to send the ball right back and go at it. Go right at it. So I agree. If you want to criticize Tatum, sure. But I also think it's the regular season. They are tired. And it's all about letting everybody get their shot. Like, you gotta remember, Kristaps Porzingis was putting up a lot of shots too. He was hot from the first quarter. So I think there's also that element of,
because every starter except KP took way less shots than normal. The volume was so low.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, I just feel like they were tired and they knew it. If you know you're not on one, and if you shoot this shot, it's probably not going in compared to your normal shots, you would want to spread it out so that you don't shoot your team out of the game. Because I feel like if Tatum went 8 of 20, if he'd shot the amount of shots you're telling him that he should have, then everyone would be like, oh, he shot his team out the game. He's selfish. He doesn't know how to pass. He doesn't know how to let his team do what they need to do. I just feel like Tatum can't win. Y'all haters ain't going to give him an out.
I'm saying pick a path, right?
I like his path. I like his path of letting his team get to their spots.
Let his team lose. That's what he did.
No.
Yes.
Nah. He is the best player on this team.
He said, let me chill, let me sit back while all my teammates except KP are playing poorly.
Nah, man. Y'all stay hating. I didn't think he did anything weird compared to how the rest of the team was. They were just low energy. You could see it from the get-go. Their defense, their offense, how they're moving, their screens. I'm not saying he doesn't deserve some criticism, but to say it's all his fault or anything is crazy. The whole team was just low energy. Mm-hmm. So what do you want me to say about that?
He should get the lion's share of blame because he's the first option, as you say. He's a star.
It's a regular season
top 5
game.
player in the NBA.
No,
and we're gonna.
So why can't? So Jaylen Brown can never get. He can get the lion's share of the credit, but he can never get the lion's share of the blame. That's what you're saying right now. Because people be giving Jaylen Brown lion's share of the credit, even though everything he does is easier.
Well. If he plays well, then yeah, he deserves the lion's share of credit.
He can only play well because he has Jayson Tatum on his team.
Okay.
So it's like, by your logic, Jayson Tatum should be getting the credit, all of those wins, because he's the best player. His mere existence. He gets
that credit, yes.
No, he doesn't. No one gives Jayson Tatum credit.
No one is. I don't know who no one is.
You and your legion of haters.
No, I'm not
all
a
y'all
hater.
haters.
I'm not a hater.
Probably think Deuce is better at basketball than Jayson Tatum. Y'all be saying corny stuff like that on the timeline.
You keep bringing up narratives. You keep talking about how malaligned your star is. I'm just saying you're being a JT Glazer by not properly assigning the blame he deserved. I'm just pointing out, at a top 5 player in the league, he didn't look like one last night. He didn't play like one.
For being tired?
Yeah.
Okay. Like, so what? It is what it is. How you gonna? Why is Peyton Pritchard going 2 of 12? Why is Derek White going 1 of 5? Why is Drew Holiday going 1 of 6? No, these are the role players that compose a super team. If these guys are just role players now and they're nothing special, don't be telling me I got a super team. Pick one. Pick a lane, bro. Right now, do we have a super team?
Of course.
Okay, so then my super team choked.
Okay, but
all the players
still matter. Your star still gets a lion's share of the responsibility.
Yeah, Jaylen Brown. I agree. 8 of 19. Bump. All my role players.
So now you're saying Jaylen Brown is the star of this team. Okay, good.
He is a star. Y'all be saying he does star. If he does star, this is what happens when Jaylen Brown is your first option. Just so everybody knows, this is what you can expect if Jaylen Brown was actually the Celtics' first option. So all y'all 1A, 1B people, you're tripping, bro. It's 1 and it's 2. And 2 might be Derek White.
No way. That's absurd.
Let's keep it a buck.
How many finals MVP does Jayson Tatum have?
Bro.
0.
You know
how many finals MVPs
How many finals
does
MVPs
Derek White
does Andre Iguodala
0.
have? How many finals MVPs does Andre Iguodala have?
1.
How many finals MVPs does CP3 have?
0.
Okay, so Andre Iguodala is a better player, right? Say it.
He's more clutch.
Okay.
He's more clutch.
Okay.
I'll say it.
Okay, he's more clutch. Is he the better player? Is he the better player?
I didn't say no. I don't think
okay. So how many finals MVPs does Jaylen Brown have?
1.
How many does Jayson Tatum have?
0.
Who's a better player?
Jaylen Brown.
So you
because he showed up.
You tripping.
No, you can't use Iggy and CP3 to say you
that's
can't
literally the gap. That's absurd. That's literally the gap.
CP3 is one of the best point guards in the league. Iguodala is Iguodala.
Jayson Tatum is a top 5 player
in the NBA. Yes, I know.
Yes, in the entire NBA.
Yes.
Jaylen Brown. Who is Jaylen Brown without Jayson Tatum? He's Andre Iguodala, bro.
No, he's not Andre Iguodala, but I do agree there is a gap.
Oh, okay. There's a gap now. There's a gap now.
It's 1A, 1. I still think it's 1A, 1B. If Kyrie and Luka, are they 1A, 1B?
Kyrie's infinitely better than Jaylen Brown. Yeah, that's a 1A,
1B. Okay, then JT and JB are obviously 1A, 1B.
You have Kyrie and Jaylen Brown.
Luka smokes Kyrie's pack. Okay, so I don't think
he doesn't.
1B.
No, he doesn't. Is that why Dallas just beat OKC without Luka's bum fouling?
PJ Washington.
Oh my God.
PJ Washington. That's simply what it was.
Jaylen Brown is a PJ Washington level player.
No.
Yes.
PJ Washington would not have been able to stop Luka Doncic. He wouldn't have won Finals MVP.
PJ Washington you just said he was the best player versus OKC.
Yeah,
it was the best team in the game.
Okay, one game. We can look at last year's final series where PJ Washington did play, and wow, surprisingly, he didn't make much of an impact. While at the same time, Jaylen Brown.
That matchup is just harder for him because of Al Horford.
Jaylen Brown won Finals MVP, and you're trying to give responsibility for Al Horford.
Al Horford shut down Joel Embiid.
You give responsibility to Al Horford for stopping anybody, which is just crazy.
Al Horford would destroy your best player.
And then
Jaylen Brown versus Al Horford. Al Horford's winning that.
That's crazy.
I'm saying it.
That's crazy.
Like,
So
I'm tired of this JB writing. I'm tired of this JT hating. And no one ever wants to, like, talk about the role players. But that's cool.
Because they're studs.
On other teams, I understand you don't want to blame the role players. But you cannot take away credit from JT day in, day out by saying he has a superstar team. And then when the superstar team all choke, it's like, well, JT, man, he's got to be the number one option. What is he doing?
I'm not giving all the other guys a pass.
Yes, you are. No. You haven't mentioned Derek White's name once this entire segment. Run the tape back. You haven't mentioned Drew Holiday's name once this entire segment.
Because you went straight to them.
Bro, they went 2 of 11.
And you
That's
glazed
trash.
over. You glazed over Jayson Tatum. Just like how you talk about Jayson Tatum, you talked about the game last time the same way. You glazed over Jayson. Okay? And you went straight to the role players. The role players are studs. That's a fact. Derek White is one of the best defensive guards in the league, and he can shoot the heck of the ball from the three-point line. Peyton Pritchard is 6 man. He's one of the best three-point shooters in the league.
Was he last night? Were any of those guys doing that last night?
They didn't perform, but neither did JT. That's my ultimate point. The role players didn't perform, and your first option, your superstar,
but the role players
underperform
underperform more. The role players
5 of
underperform
12
more.
is pathetic. That's not good.
1 of 6 is better.
Okay, but the standards changes. The standards change.
Is the standard for Drew Holiday, NBA champion, or Derek White,
2-time NBA champion,
the most threes made, like one of the most threes made in the league? Like, it's like Ant, Curry, and Derek White, right? That's like the top 3 3-point shooters. That guy's allowed to just go 1 of 5 in a historic matchup, in a marquee matchup versus the Los Angeles Lakers, being guarded by Max Christie.
Yeah, Max Christie. Why you say his name like that?
Bro,
he plays defense.
Max Christie.
He plays defense.
Max Christie is not locking
Saying
anybody
his
up.
name 3 times
it's
won't make
fake
him appear.
defense, bro. It's fake defense. I hope he doesn't appear.
I
hope he doesn't appear on my screen either.
lock you
DFS,
up.
start over him.
He'll probably lock you up too.
Nah,
so
bro.
why? Anyways, ultimately, I'll bring this segment to a close. This is my main, my piece de resistance, if you will.
Piece of the resistance.
Jayson Tatum and the Celtics kryptonite is Bronny James, and that's why they lost.
You said Bronny James.
How you gonna be a superstar when you lose to Bronny James? That's what I'm saying.
No,
that's what I'm saying.
That's why LeBron dominated Jaylen Brown, because of what he said about Bronny. So I can even further blame Jaylen Brown. He needs to keep his mouth shut when he's not that level of guy.
You probably blame Klay Thompson too for insulting LeBron James.
Yes, everyone knows Klay Thompson unlocked a new level of LeBron and brought that out onto themselves. So Klay Thompson and Jaylen Brown, 2 bums.
So the beauty of it
I think that's the wrap up of this segment.
We end this segment. The Lakers won, and that's all I need.
Hey man, enjoy that win. Enjoy that win while y'all got it.